Gongpyeong Historic Sites Museum was built in accordance with the so-called Gongpyeong-dong Rule, which was enacted in 2018, which states that buried cultural assets discovered during urban development projects should be preserved in their original locations, if possible. The relics discovered in Gongpyeong Districts 1, 2, and 4 in 2015 are alleys and building sites that were formed from the Joseon Dynasty to modern times. After excavation, the relics were restored to their original location in the basement of the building. The relics are divided into 4 cultural layers by period, but the ones that are in the best condition and remain intact, dating from the 16th to 17th centuries, have been moved into the exhibition hall, and visitors can experience the streets of Gongpyeong-dong during the Joseon Dynasty through models and VR. The Gongpyeong-dong where the building was built was called Pyong during the Joseon Dynasty. This place is still a bustling area today, but it was also the center of Hanok during the Joseon Dynasty. It was a place where people would gather like clouds, so it was nicknamed Unhyeongung, and because of its location between Gyeongbokgung and Cheongdeokgung, it was the place where royal families and government offices such as Ugumbyu were located. Therefore, it must have been a lively and dynamic place where royals, government officials, and merchants lived together. Gongpyeong Historic Sites Museum is different from the museums and exhibitions we usually imagine because the Gongpyeong-dong relics were moved to the basement of the building. The excavation site is spread out under the glass floor. You can see the drainage and the main hall. You can also experience walking through the alleys as a 16th century Joseon person along the firmly packed dirt road. In addition, excavated relics are displayed here and there, showing that this was a place where everyday life took place. Starbucks Reserve The Jongno store, located in Jongno Tower, has a total store area of 1,100 meters square. This was previously the largest store in Korea. The record for the largest Starbucks store in Korea was broken on July 24, 2020, when Starbucks The Yangpyeong DTR store opened, and the Jongno Reserve store became the largest Starbucks store in Seoul. Every year on December 31st, the Bosingak bell-ringing ceremony is held a total of 33 times and is considered a representative New Year's event in Korea. During this time, all vehicles passing through Jongno are blocked off and a large number of citizens gather in front of Bosingak. Insadong, Jongno-gu, is a neighborhood where the past and present meet, and the harmony of familiarity and newness come to mind, and it is a representative tourist destination in Seoul. When you go to the alleys of Insadong, you can feel the bustle and energy thanks to the footsteps of domestic and foreign tourists. The cultural complex mall in Young Insadong is a space that shows off neutro in a sophisticated way. Neutro is a new word that combines new and retro, and in Young Insadong was built and operated to preserve tradition and culture, becoming a landmark of Insadong. And Young means hello. It consists of various stores, restaurants, galleries, etc. from the basement level to the 6th floor. The yard on the 1st floor acts as a passage connecting Insadong and Jo-Kai-sa Temple, which had to go a long way. As a result, a natural influx of people is occurring. After looking around every nook and cranny of each floor without realizing how much time had passed, I came across a sign that resonated with me. It is said that Hello Insadong organized the space with 3 Chinese characters: time, space, and feeling. It aims to provide a space where you can experience the harmony between tradition and the present by going back in time, provide a rest in the empty space, and provide fun through an experience filled with interesting elements. Insadong is a precious space where old but precious traditional items are exchanged in the city center. In Insadong, there are alleys intertwined like a maze centered around a large street. In this maze, galleries, traditional craft shops, antique shops, traditional tea houses, traditional restaurants, and cafes are densely packed. In particular, the shops in Insadong are very popular with young people and middle-aged people alike for their unique style. Among them, galleries are the center that has kept Insadong alive. There are about 100 galleries densely packed here, and you can enjoy various exhibitions ranging from Korean paintings to prints and sculptures. Along with galleries, traditional tea houses and restaurants fill the streets of Insadong. They are hard to find at first, but if you take a leisurely stroll through the alleys, it is very fun. Insadong is designated as a car-free street every Saturday and Sunday, and has been reborn as a cultural space for citizens. Ssamziegil is a unique cultural space with cultural and artistic experiences and galleries, and a complex shopping mall with various craft shops and restaurants. The first space you encounter when you enter Ssamziegil is a yard where you can look up at the sky, and various cultural events such as exhibitions and performances are held. There are also many places to eat, enjoy, and take pictures in the basement, such as restaurants, galleries, prop shops, and experience workshops. You can become an artist for a while and make soap, cosmetics, hand-painted pottery, and glass bottle crafts. Visitors can walk up a gentle slope as if they were walking down Insadong Street without having to climb up and down stairs, and encounter over 70 workshops, galleries, and prop shops. You can walk to the top of the building without stairs or elevators, but it is not tiring at all and is light. On each floor, you can find a variety of craft shops selling experimental and challenging fresh works by young designers, including ceramics, textiles, metalwork, and woodwork, which are a feast for the eyes. People shop along the street with the open courtyard in the middle and enjoy the ever-changing cityscape. It feels like walking down the streets and alleys. As you walk around the workshops and shops, you will soon reach the rooftop Sky Garden. The rooftop, which overlooks Bukoksan Mountain, has a cafe and a green outdoor garden, making it a great place to take a break. The Sky Garden, which offers a panoramic view of Insadong. Unhyeongung Palace was the residence of Hyung Seon-dae Won-gun, father and regent of King Gojong. It is a Korean-style house, consisting of 3 parts. At the very front, to the south, there is Noan-dang, men's quarters, once a residence of Dae Won-gun. At the back, there are the servants' quarters lying east-west, and at the north side there is the inner house, Norak-dang. After the coronation of his son, the palace became the political base of the king's father. There was a direct route connecting it to the king's palace. During 10 years of regency, he made efforts to abolish the abuses of Esadujongchi, a form of politics in which the relatives of the royal family accrued political power, and brought about revolutionary reforms in such fields as personnel management and finance. He also reconstructed Gyeongbokgung Palace, which had burned down in a fire during the Japanese invasion in 1592. Due to such renovations, a favorite quarter of the king's father has been pulled down, and Yongwaryu Pavilion has disappeared, along with the shrines for the princes Unsin and Namyeon. Unhyeongung is not a palace like Gyeongbokgung Palace, but a palace where the royal family lived, and is a historic site. It was the private residence where Dae Won-gun's family lived, and it is where King Gojong, the 26th king of Joseon, was born and raised before becoming king. This palace is where most of the historical events of the late Joseon Dynasty began, and it is also where many reform policies and isolation policies were implemented, so it has special historical symbolism. The representative buildings of the palace are Noan-dang and Norak-dang, which were completed in September of the first year of King Gojong's reign, 1864, and Iro-dang, which was expanded 6 years later, and the main gate, which now has only 1, but at the time had 4. Norak-dang is the most central building in the palace and was mainly used for large events such as family 60th birthdays and banquets. Noan-dang is the building that Dae Won-gun used as his quarters. This building is where he was kidnapped by the Qing during the Imo incident and returned to his country, where he lived in seclusion as if he was confined, and the place where he died in his later years was a small room behind the main room of Noan-dang. It is a typical Korean-style tile-roofed house, and is characterized by the delicate and beautiful ends of the eaves. Iro-dang is the main house next to Norak-dang, and it is in the shape of a Korean letter, and it was a thoroughly secluded area with a garden in the middle of the interior. Ikseondong Hanok Village, located in Jongno, Seoul, is a representative Hanok village in Seoul that was built in the 1920s and boasts a history of about 100 years. This is a unique space where tradition and modernity naturally blend together, and is consistently loved by those who want to enjoy a unique outing in Seoul. This place has emerged as a popular hot place for young people and tourists, with stylish cafes, restaurants, and galleries opening one after another in renovated old Hanok houses. As you walk along the narrow, winding alleys, you can easily find shops that maintain the appearance of traditional Hanok houses but have modern interiors. A place where the past and present coexist. A place where time seems to have stopped between old Hanok houses and small alleys. And a place where shops that stimulate modern sensibilities and retro-style interiors breathe a strange vitality. Cafe Nagwonjang is a remodeled and building built in the 80s. It has a total of 5 floors, and each floor has a different atmosphere and interior design. You can enjoy the Hanok view through the large windows. If you go up to the rooftop, you can see the Hanok village of Ikseondong at a glance.